you know who you are when no one's watching. Like what you do when no one's watching, that's who you are.
Yeah.
So we all know when we're alone whether we choose meditation or Netflix. Like we know when we're alone whether we choose, for a lot of people out there, whether they choose reading books and learning or pornography, right? You know when you're alone what you choose.
Yeah.
And I think that really helps you overcome your ego, because when we reflect on ourselves when no one's around, that's when we're truly uncovering who we are. I believe that the answers come from within, and we're not asking the right questions. I feel we're always looking for the right answers, not the right questions. And the biggest companies that we respect today, the biggest organizations, all came from trying to answer a question. It all came from trying to solve a problem or a question that we were able to identify. So my work comes from a very simple study that I read that said the most successful people in the world choose education over entertainment. And the most unsuccessful people in the world choose entertainment over education with their spare time. So my mission has been, how do we spread wisdom at the pace people want entertainment? And to me, entertainment allows you to populate the thought with your own brain. Like when you watch a character or a superhero, you can watch it from your own lens. The movie may have morals, it may have values, it may be talking about good and evil, but the movie's not deciding for you. The movie allows you a space to create and imagine and grow. So for me, that's what I want my content to do, is give people a space to populate themselves, see themselves in the characters that I'm presenting, see their own situation, and be able to come to their own conclusion. Whether it's David Beckham taking one of his famous free kicks, or whether it's Lewis Hamilton winning the Formula One, or whether it was Steve Jobs about to give one of his famous keynotes, the most underrated skill was this: visualization. The recreation of images, sounds, and environments before it has happened is one of the most powerful skills in the world. A very powerful meditation and mindfulness practice, visualization has been used for centuries to help prepare the mind, the body, and the consciousness for upcoming challenges, situations, and circumstances. Some of the world's greatest athletes use visualization as a way to prepare for big games, the big day, musicians for their new concerts and tours, and CEOs for their very important meetings. We all face distraction. We all experience distraction. We're all plagued by distraction. But often we think that the opposite of distraction is focus. We think that we need to become more focused. We think that if we're focused, we'll feel less distracted. We feel that if we're able to draw our energy in a certain direction and force ourselves to absorb in an activity, then we won't be as distracted. But this is just not true. The opposite of distraction is actually not focus. The opposite of distraction is, wait for it, attraction. What we really need to do is increase our attraction. When we are attracted to something, we're naturally focused. We're naturally able to be present. We're naturally able to bring our attention and our energy to that task, that project, that person. When we're distracted and don't have that attraction, we're naturally all over the place. We end up feeling lost, confused, and end up procrastinating. But no matter what you do, no matter how much you chase your passion and live your purpose, there will still be things you have to do on a daily basis that you don't find interesting. And naturally, you will feel unfocused and distracted. For that, ask yourself this question: why am I here? Or why am I doing this? And you'll find the mind will start to become attracted to that activity, task, or even that person. One of the most beautiful things I learned was that serving other people was without a doubt the most meaningful experience of humanity. And there's this great study by Michael Norton from the Cambridge University where he talks about how money can buy happiness if you spend it on other people. And he's done this incredible study in all regions all across the world where he talks about how actually if people are given $5, $20, or even $100, when you spend it on yourself, your happiness doesn't go up or doesn't go down. But when you spend it on other people, your happiness has the opportunity to grow by at least 10 to 20%. So fulfillment grows when we use our money, time, energy in the service of others. And when I was working at internships, I felt like I was serving myself. And I wasn't getting an opportunity to impact someone else's life. We've all been in that, and I'm sure you have, been in that position where you've just made a difference in a young person's life, or you've made a difference in someone who doesn't have much, and you see the joy on their face. And that's what I was getting to experience as a monk on a daily basis. Every morning I sit and I look at my intentions to do anything. So whether there's a new deal on the table or there's a speaking gig that I've been invited to do or whatever it may be. And in your life, it can be anything, whether you're starting a new business, you're writing a book, it may even just be an Instagram post for whatever it is. And I look at whatever my options are and I ask myself, which ones of these is a seed and which ones of these is a weed? Right. Because the incredible thing in our garden is that weeds end up looking like seeds and can confuse you.
100%.
So often that thing that's giving you ego and pride and fame and control and power looks like it's amazing.
Right.
But actually it's just strangling you.
100%.
So every day what I'll do is I'll look at the garden of my life and I will try and unweed my garden. So I'll look at everyone and be like, why am I doing that? And ask myself, why am I doing that? And if the answer is not love, compassion, empathy, growth,
right,
personal push, sacrifice, service, if the answer is the opposite, greed, money, power, fame, if those are my reasons,
right,
then I have to take that weed out.
100%.
I have to pull it out because if I don't pull it out, that weed's gonna keep growing.
Right.
And one day it's gonna be so big,
right,
that I wouldn't even have seen it. I think the big thing is we all are looking for role models when we're growing up. Like I feel like we all had someone we looked up to. And I was just fortunate, and I have to owe it to fortune and grace that I was so fortunate that when I was 18, one of my role models became a monk. Because my role models were celebrities, CEOs, entrepreneurs, incredible people who are achieving a lot in the world. But when I met him, I got to meet someone who was truly happy. And I think we meet a lot of people who have a lot of money, who have a lot of success at a young age, but you rarely meet someone who's truly happy. And I think everyone who's listening right now or watching will be able to remember a time when they felt they met someone who is happy. And I'm sure that's a rare memory, but it exists. And I was so captivated by that happiness that I felt this person was experiencing that I was like, I want that. You know, and you feel that, like, I always say that it's always the common denominator in the room. If you're in a room with someone who has millions of followers, you'll be like, oh, I want that. And if you're in the room with someone who has a yacht, you'll be like, oh, I want a yacht. And if someone lives in a fancy home, you'll be like, oh, I want a fancy home. Like, we always want what we feel in the room. Like, the person who has the most in the room becomes the most desirable. But for me, I was so fortunate to be in a room where someone was happy, and that became the most desirable thing. And I was just seeing around me, I was aware that I was looking at people around me who had money but were sad, who had the love of everyone in the like relationships, whatever, like the best looking partners, whatever, and they still were sad. And I was just looking around me at 18 and observing that I couldn't meet someone who's really happy apart from this guy. Imagine you wake up every day with $86,400 in your bank account. And at the end of the night, it's all gone, whether you spent it or not. And then the next day, you get another $86,400. What would we do with it? Every day, 86,400 seconds are deposited into your life account. At the end of the day, once they're all used up, you get a new 86,400 seconds. We would never waste it if it was money, so why do we waste it when it comes to time? Those seconds are so much more powerful than dollars because you can always make more dollars, you can't always make more time.